And coming back quickly on the notion of appearance, difference between basic appearance and complex appearance. Just a quick sum up, because I already partially covered that in another video. So again, I just created a new document, just an empty untitled new document, and when you're just hiding the white background and you have the transparency checkboard, you can see by default Illustrator use the default appearance, which is by default a white fill and one point stroke in black by default. So we already covered that. So that's a basic appearance. And a basic appearance mainly is, let me just change the color to have something to see. Let's push that a little bit and let's open the layer, because the notion of basic appearance is really important at the level of the object mainly, but also at the layer, and we'll see that later in another video, at the group. And that's about this little circle. So if I'm targeting that, I will come back. You can see it's a circle. When it's selected, you have another cycle outside to mention it's selected, but it's empty. It's just a simple stroke outside. And if I continue to moving, by default, it's just a basic appearance. It's like on other vector software, simple vector software. You have just a simple stroke with a width and with some option like the fill. And you can also have a rounded. So let me just come back on a rectangle to see what I mean. Here I can just add also a corner. You can see it's rounded there. If it's an open path, let's select and let's delete this. It's an open path. You will also have the ability to set up the caps, rounded at the end, little bit pushed, or at the end. So you can see there is no difference there. It's still a basic appearance. But when you start to add more advanced functions, so let's come back to this one because it's a closed one. In an open one, you can't set up the alignment of a stroke. On the closed one, you can. So here, for example, if I'm starting to move inside or outside, you can see there is a difference. It's filled with a gray inside and outside too. If I'm coming back to the default and the legacy from the beginning of Illustrator, you can see it's a basic appearance. If I'm starting to add dashed line, or for example an arrow, or everything which is more complex at the beginning, the legacy of Illustrator, like for example an affix, let's try to add on the stroke itself, for example a distortion, for example a zigzag, to have something to view, for example. Okay, you can see now it's complex. So any affix, or for example, let's undo that, come back to the basic appearance, and now if I just reorder the fill on top of the stroke, now it's complex. It's not the default. The default is the stroke covering covering the fill. If I add another stroke, let's say this one, let's say another properties like that. And if I'm adding other things and again, that became a complex appearance. So let's go here and do some basic thing like path offset. And let's say, for example, this. Okay, now it's a basic appearance. And if I want to create a new document, if by default, let me just check, it's checked by default, I can try there, even if I have no selection, you can see there. And I have a property, when I drag and leave, it will apply just the basic appearance because of this checkbox. New art as basic appearance. If you uncheck that, reselect this one. So you have in mind, even if I deselect this thing, it's no selection. Now that will work, and you will keep your complex appearance, even if you didn't save the appearance as a graphic style to link with other object. So that's a way to sample a complex appearance and to put that on another one. And if you were asking, so that's the difference of these two circles.